Okay, great. Thanks everybody for being here. Welcome to Mulberry At Park. I'm Chickie Grayson, President and CEO of Enterprise Homes, and obviously we're thrilled to be here today to celebrate the grand opening of Mulberry At Park. And I'm really delighted to have our new mayor, Mayor Catherine Pugh, here today. Let's give her a round of applause. And our members of the City Council, and Secretary Holt from the Department of Housing in the state of Maryland, and our other dignitaries and guests that are here today. I know how hard it is to break in the middle of the day to come do something fun, but I'm so glad that you're here to help us celebrate. We're here to celebrate Mulberry At Park. Mulberry At Park is 68 units of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments in the Mount Vernon area and the Bromo Arts District as well. This area has seen a lot of activity over the past few years, not only Mulberry Park, but 520 Park Avenue, 500 Park Avenue, and I'm hoping that what's across the street from us, that deserted parking lot, and the whole square block around Howard, Franklin, Mulberry, and Park will have a master developer and we'll be able to redevelop that area as well. So I think things are really looking great around here. I mean, how great is it to be so close to Enoch Pratt Library and all the various services that are available around here and close to employment. It doesn't really get much better than that, really, for everything you want to do to help people move up and out. So thank you for everybody. I'm going to say thank you a lot, but really this couldn't happen without lots of people helping to make it happen. And for Baltimoreans, you probably remember going downtown. We just went up memory lane on Howard Street when we were driving here, and I hope you get a chance to look at the murals and see what downtown was like. And of course you can't help but know that you're in a historical place, because when you enter the door has great murals on the door as well. So it's just really wonderful way to remember and also to move forward. I'd like to give a shout out to the business community in this area. They have worked so hard and so long to help maintain and grow this area. It is truly a labor of love. You can imagine people have been working for Howard Street and the area for a long, long time, and they're still at it. We love the accomplishment. We love the challenge of accomplishing what seems to be undoable, and especially to work with a great community to help make it better. So I want to thank the West Side Merchants Association and Steve Samuelson and Wendy Blair. I'm not sure that they're here, but they really were the ones that really helped us through part of the process. And Kirby Fowler from the Downtown Partnership. He's worked hard and long in this area and is doing great things, and I think he's seeing some changes.
Yeah, finally.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's good. Our work is about people, community, and helping to make a better Baltimore. The Great Recession and globalization really have affected people in a very negative way. The number of people that pay more than 50% of their income for rent has grown significantly over the past 10 years, and it is continuing to rise. It hasn't stopped yet. And it's unfortunate that that is happening to people, but we're able to help people in that way by having something like Mulberry at Park to provide affordable rents to people. And then also, this is a LEED silver building, so it also helps with the utilities as well. So there's a lot of good things here that we're trying to do to help people actually have more of their funds to go have fun and to do other things. So we're really happy to be able to do that. It takes a lot of people to do this, as I've said, and I'll continue to say. But I can't help but mention Jim Rouse when we're talking about downtown. Jim knew, he understood the importance of downtown, the vibrancy of downtown. And I know he would be really pleased to be here today. He obviously was a great visionary, and so I'm glad that we can help bring some reality to his vision. And it takes vision, resources, and cooperation. And that's what we're going to be hearing about today. Before we start and hear from our speakers, I just wanted to thank again everybody for their help, especially the state and the city who helped make this a reality, and appreciated the hard work that went into it. And I'd like to introduce our mayor, Catherine Pugh. She brings an incredible amount of knowledge, practical experience, and great enthusiasm. So we're looking forward to hearing from her and the great job that she's going to be doing.
Is not this exciting? Go ahead, Kirby. Isn't it exciting? Let me just say, I was standing here, what has it been, just about a year or so ago?
It was 15 months.
15 months ago.
It was, I know when it was.
Right.
No, I mean, I know relative to you.
Yes. And as I stood here, and I remember saying that my hairdresser's right down the street. And I know she's excited about the possibility of a development taking place. And I just wanted to reassure you, Chicky, that what Chicky is talking about is not just what's happening right here, it's what's happening all around us. And that's one of the things that we really want to encourage development and developers to do, is not just to look at a spot, but to look at it as a community, as a city, as an area that we can transform, that really invites people to want to live in these communities. And when you think about it, I was down at 10 Light Street, and the gentleman was telling me that we're going to build a supermarket in the old Alex Brown building, which is awesome, because everybody in neighborhoods and communities want the same thing. You know, we want places to be entertained. We want to be able to go out and buy our groceries nearby. We want to be able to sit in restaurants that are inviting, and we want to live near where we work. And that's what's exciting about this particular building. And Chicky, I want to thank you, because visionaries also need people to carry out the vision. And when we talk about Baltimore and the greatness of this city, the architecture, the opportunity to transform a city that many have seen for so long as a place that can be easily transformed, if we are committed to collaborations and partnerships that can make a difference in the lives of our individuals who live and work in our city. But collaboration also can transform neighborhoods and communities and make them inviting for anyone who comes through our city to stop and say, I want to live here too. And that's what a project like this does. We think about all the things that are happening around us. And Chicky, you should know that one of the things that I say to my unit that follows me home every day is that I don't go up 83. That's not my way home. My way home is to stop in different parts of the city to see what we can do, what needs to be done, whether it is cleaning up our streets or creating job opportunities and expanding communities and neighborhoods. I know that with the commitment of the individuals who live in our city, the businesses who want to be here, the developers who want to help us transform, it means that we in city government must be more collaborative. And so I'm always grateful for the collaboration and the vision, because the Baltimore I see is a bustling city, a city filled with opportunity, a city where we know, for example, the two fastest growing populations in our city, 18 to 34, 55 years of age and older. Baby boomers are coming back because this is a convenient place to live. 18 to 34-year-olds think this is the hippest city to live in. And so we got to hold them here. And that's why this commitment of transformation goes beyond these kinds of buildings. It goes into what we want our schools to look like, that everybody gets a great education in a city that has so many possibilities. So what you also should know is that our city is growing. You know, we had dropped down to a population of 620,000. We're moving up. And I remind folks that this was a city built for 1 million people. And so there's a lot of opportunity here. So I came by way of Howard Street. And I'm looking at some of the transformation that is taking place, but much more needs to be done. I want to see Park Avenue filled with restaurants and opportunities for people, because that is creating jobs. And we know that small business is the greater creator of jobs in this nation. And that's what we see happening. So I'm grateful for the work that you've done here with Mulberry at Park. Doesn't that sound like a New York address? Mulberry at Park. And so we want our Park Avenue to look like Park Avenue in New York. Ooh, without certain other amenities. But again, I just want to thank all of you who have invested in this project, especially Enterprise, and speaking on behalf of the city of Baltimore and its citizens. Thank you for making it affordable. And we have to take that in consideration as we do development around this city. And I've said to folks, downtowns are really, really important. But it's not just about downtown, it's about our neighborhoods. This is a part of a neighborhood and a community attached to the Mount Vernon community. So we're expanding our footprint, and we want to expand it throughout the neighborhoods and communities in the city that have been neglected. But we're grateful because I know that the businesses around here who've looked at this area for some time now can see the possibility. So thank you again, Enterprise, and I continue to look forward to the visions of others that match with mine for greater Baltimore, a city with great businesses, great living spaces, and great opportunity. Thank you.
The reason, I can still bend down, that's good. The reason I can remember it was because you told me then that you had decided to run, and I was very excited, so I remember it. And you also saved my skin a little bit with Bank of America. I don't know if you remember this, but we were supposed to have a sign on the fence, and we didn't. And I got chastised from the speaker from Bank of America for not having it. And Catherine, without skipping a beat, got up and said, we didn't talk about it. She got up and said, "I'm sorry, it's my fault. I forgot to bring the sign. I was supposed to bring the sign." Just great on your feet. That's what you gotta be. It's fabulous. Thank you. So another significant partner is the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. They provide a lot of the resources that it takes to really make this happen, practically 2/3 or 3/4 of the resources to make this happen. They have a fabulous leader, Ken Holt, who's been the secretary now for I think 2 years, and they provided the necessary funding and tax credits and other funds, state funds, to help make this happen. In addition to the funding, though, there's just a great resource of people there, and they're very dedicated people who work constantly to make sure that developments like this can happen. And we're lucky to have such a great group of people, so I just wanted to give a shout out to some of them. May not be here, but I know Ken can go home and tell them that we thank them. So Elaine Cornick, Brian O'Toole, Ed Sims, Wendy Lazio, and Ghani Adiyami. So I want to thank them as well, because it's because of the people that work in these places that this happens, and people believe that you can do something. They will work with you to help make that happen. So please join me in welcoming Secretary Ken Holt.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Chicky used the word fun, and I can tell you it's fun trailing along with Mayor Pugh and Governor Hogan and Jack Young and all of these great leaders who are inspiring us because they believe in what we're trying to accomplish. They put their money where their mouth is, about $100 million of money coming into the city of Baltimore for demolition and stabilization of these tremendous assets. So here we are in a moment in time where we can transition from, to some degree, degradation, decay, hopelessness, into an unbelievable period of opportunity. And so I want to thank each and every one of you who are a part of that, and especially Governor Hogan and Mayor Pugh for really being the inspiration behind all of this. There are specific partners in this project that I'm going to name, obviously Enterprise and Chicky, Baltimore City for their financing, Bank of America for their financing, Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, Marks Thomas Architects, Colbert Matz Rosenfeld, the engineers, BKM engineers, Aumann and Asner, interior designers. Gallagher, Evelius and Jones, the legal team. Harkins Builders, who did such a wonderful job here. Habitat America, the property manager. And of course, Mulberry at Park Apartments Limited Partnership, the owners. This is affordable housing. Affordable housing is desperately needed across the state. If you look at the Washington marketplace or the Baltimore marketplace, you understand clearly that the income levels do not match with the cost of housing. And what groups like Enterprise and the state of Maryland and the city of Baltimore are doing is to try to close that gap. Mulberry at Park is a great example of how we've closed the gap. We've provided, as Chicky mentioned, roughly $3 million plus the equity value of the tax credits is over $16 million to create 68 wonderful units of affordable housing. I'll give you a sense of the trend line over the last 2 years. 2 years ago, we did about 30 units totaling $546 million for the affordable marketplace. Last year, we did over 44 units totaling nearly $1 billion of affordable units. So it creates new jobs, and obviously it houses people who are in desperate need of a great place to live. It's been a banner year for our department, really simply because of the partnership with the Baltimore City Council, Jack Young, Eric, and Mayor Pugh, who really in the Senate of Maryland was a tremendous leader in raising the capital to jumpstart what we call Project Core, creating opportunity for renewal and enterprise. And we're sort of, I guess, on a kind of a road show on a fairly regular basis where we're out demolishing and then rebuilding. And it's going to be green space, it's going to be commercial, retail, affordable housing, mixed-use housing. And it's just wonderful how this tapestry is starting to weave together. The private sector is carrying a very important and heavy load in certain areas. And then the public sector is sort of backfilling. And we believe that in sort of the nucleus of areas that really need focus, West Baltimore, we're going to jumpstart things, and then the private sector is going to infill and help us out. So in any event, thanks so much for all you've done. What a beautiful facility, and I'm just very grateful to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. We really appreciate all that the department has done to help really make this such a great place, an uplifting place for people to be and live. Nothing really happens without Baltimore City Council, and there are a number of different issues for this development that needed to get the approval through the council, and we had great support. So please join me in welcoming the City Council President, Bernie Jack Young.
Good morning, everyone. Chicky kind of like stole my remarks. I said, you took my remarks, because every time I come to an event that's dealing with enterprise, I have to think about Mr. Jim Rouse. My first house that I ever bought was a project that Mr. Rouse had built. So I always like to pay homage to this great visionary for everything that he have done, and Chicky as the president and CEO following in those footsteps to make sure there's affordable housing all over the city of Baltimore. But I also want to thank our secretary who has been coming to Baltimore ever since he's been the secretary, and I want him to continue to come, continue to bring the money, because we want to continue to grow Baltimore. The mayor alluded to the city of 1 million people at one time. Hey, we have room for all of you who might not live in the city to consider coming back to the city. We're a great city here in Baltimore. I know we have some minor problems. We're working through that. The mayor had pulled together a team to look at the crime in the city, and we're serious about getting that done. I would be remiss if I didn't say something about Kirby, because when Kirby first came to me talking about all these apartments in downtown, I'm like, yeah, right. Nobody is coming to those apartments downtown, and now they're bustling from the scene. So Kirby, thank you for all that you do to try to help grow Baltimore. And Michael Braitman with his code enforcement to make these absentee owners either fix them up or we take them. So I want to thank him for his great work. I also want to thank our housing department. They are just awesome. They just get stuff done. Sometimes, you know, when they come to talk to me about different projects, they don't have to convince me when you're talking about affordable housing and making it a place where people who work in the city and Department of Transportation, Department of Public Works, some of our teachers, to live in Baltimore. That's what this city is all about. We're a melting pot. We want mixed income housing as well, where everybody can live in a safe and viable neighborhood. But I just can't thank Mayor Pugh enough. Our vision is completely the same. We want to make sure that we get development in some of the underserved neighborhoods so they can enjoy some of the amenities that we see in this building here and over at St. Agnes, where we did some affordable units over there as well. We can do it. Barack Obama said, yes, we can. I'm not Barack Obama, but I can say, yes, we can. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. That was great. The city's comptroller, Joan Pratt, is the overseer of the city's precious resources and also makes sure that all the spending that gets done is done appropriately. Joan Pratt couldn't be here today, but Stuart Beckham is here to represent her. Please join me in welcoming him.
Good morning, everyone. I'm also here with Ted Laster from the Department of Real Estate, which is under Comptroller Pratt's purview. In July of 2015, Comptroller Pratt attended the groundbreaking ceremony with Mulberry At Park Limited Partnership, Enterprise Homes, and attended by many of you to begin the Mulberry At Park Apartments. It was an honor and a privilege for her to be back here, for the grand opening of this beautiful complex. Enterprise Homes, the Mulberry Partnership, the finance team, the design team, the contractor, the legal team, and the management company have collaborated to show us that a good way to succeed in Baltimore is to prioritize the needs of the citizens. Projects like this encourages stability in our neighborhoods and instills optimism among families. The citizens of Baltimore joined the comptroller in applauding the intensive effort that went into the creation of Mulberry at Park Apartments. She is delighted to commend everyone involved in creating the Mulberry at Park Apartments because this represents what is best about Baltimore. Each of you are offering your own unique imprint in the form of high-quality, affordable housing for individuals, families, and residents who are physically challenged. This new development is an inspiration to entire communities. May today be the beginning of many tomorrows filled with greater advancement, commitment to our neighborhoods, and unity throughout the city. On behalf of the comptroller, we extend our deepest appreciation to you, Chicky, and everyone who participated in developing these apartment homes. We wish you continued success throughout your endeavors, and especially the endeavors that are produced on behalf of the citizens of Baltimore. Again, thank you.
Thank you very much. The city council representative for this district is Eric Costello. He is a great representative. He answers his phone pretty fast, I would say. Very impressive. And he not only answers it, but he then does something about it. And he really does try to help. So please join me in welcoming Eric Costello.
By a quick show of hands, who remembers where they were on July 29th, 2015, and if you were here? All right, so I was thinking on the drive over this morning, what was different about July 29th, 2015. First, it was sweltering hot out. I think every guy up here had their suit coat off. Second, there was a huge pile of dirt and a hole in the ground right behind us. But then I started thinking about what's the same. We are, whether you want to call it Mount Vernon or near Seton Hill or downtown's west side, the Bromo Arts District, it doesn't matter. This neighborhood has been revitalized. It's because several of the partners in the room, whether it's Secretary Holt and the commitment from the state, our housing and community development, Michael Braverman and his team, I saw Julie back there, Kirby Fowler and Downtown Partnership and everything they've done, Bill Cole and Brian Greenan at BDC, Mark Kaplan and Dominic Wicker and transformational projects like 520 Park Ave and 500 Park Ave, which are going up the street. There's a ton of partners who have played a role in helping to revitalize this neighborhood. I think something else that remains the same is the commitment from strong leaders in our city, like Mayor Catherine Pugh, Council President Jack Young, for the need for affordable housing and to help revitalize neighborhoods across the entire city. Can't tell you how excited I am to be here. And lastly, the one thing that also remains the same is folks like Chicky and Enterprise, Bank of America, and the list goes on. All of our partners in this project who continue to remain bullish on Baltimore. Baltimore is a fantastic place to invest. It's a fantastic place to come and live, and we hope to see more of it in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Brian Greenham, who is here, was he was in the mayor's office at that time, I believe, and he was really helpful. He was our early supporter in helping us get through this. I know it feels like it's one property, but it was not. It was, I don't know how many properties were here, but it's putting that whole parcel together that is quite a challenge. Another critical partner that you've heard about already is Baltimore Housing, and that department has provided the resources and approvals that we need to move forward with this. I want to thank some of the people, Jim Majors, who is probably not here because he's back at work, working hard to help fund the next development. Joe Connor, Peggy Webster, Kevin Gallagher for working out just a few of our challenges, and also to Corliss Alston, Kevin Youngfellow, Rashida Littlejohn. Please join me in welcoming their leader today, Michael Braverman.
Thank you, Chicky, Madam Mayor, Council President, and Mr. Secretary. Good morning, everybody. I know I'm kind of standing between you and the food, so I want to keep it brief. And I think everybody's been thanked almost. So I've got one or two folks to sort of mention. I wanted to say it is a great day to be here with you, Mayor Pugh, and so many of our friends in Baltimore. I've been doing this work for a while. I think I know a lot of this room. These folks, all of us, are really committed to the future of Baltimore. So it's great to take another step forward and to do that with our residents. And I see some of our residents here too as well. It's also a great partnership with the state. Secretary Holt has been outstanding. Every day gets better, and I'm looking forward to that. I also wanted to note that our teams, there's a lot of sort of transactional work that goes on behind the scenes. It's not just our permitting and inspections, but it's getting the home money out the door. You referred to Jim. It's doing the site assembly that Julie and her team does. It's the work you referred to in Corliss to getting our HABC connections to make this an affordable housing development. So I wanted to give a shout out to Charlie Halm here. Charlie, I just wanted you to know that we all appreciate the work that you do. Anybody in Baltimore who does home or CDBG work or is involved with home or CDBG programs knows that you've been an amazing help to almost everyone in the region that participates in those programs. I wanted to say, I think that as the market improves here, which is what we've all talked about, it's what makes this day sort of so meaningful is that we're ensuring that affordable housing is integrated into that success. And with help from all the partners in the room, we know it's not just affordable, it's opportunities for our very low income residents and for residents with disabilities to live in first-rate housing alongside their market neighbors in a revitalizing Baltimore. I think everybody here agrees that this inclusivity and the collaboration that it takes to accomplish it are important not just for our city, but for our country. And we're all really proud it's happening right here in Baltimore. So with that, just thank everybody for their help, and to my team and everyone else, thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. And I also wanted to mention Charlie Holm, who is here as well. I know he doesn't want you to pay attention to him, but if you have a problem and you need a solution, Charlie's the guy to call. So we talked about a lot of the financing, but a big part of it was Bank of America. They provided the construction financing and the permanent financing. They purchased the tax credits, and so they provided the equity and a significant grant as well. So they put a lot into this. Please join me in welcoming Janet Curry, who's the Senior Vice President for the Greater Maryland Market for Bank of America, and join me in welcoming Janet.
Thank you, Chicky. Good morning to everyone. You know, I think, Michael, I am actually standing between this crowd and the food, so I really will be brief. And I do want to let everyone know I was not the person who would chastise Chicky for a sign, so my apologies on their behalf.
You were not. We know who it was.
And Madam Mayor, thank you for coming to their defense. So we just really are so appreciative of our partnership with Enterprise, which really is very long-standing, and you know, they certainly don't have to call on Bank of America. There are lots of other institutions that also participate with them, but we just want to say thank you for calling on us. We know that affordable housing is a basic right, and I don't know about you all, but I agree with Mayor Pugh. When I walk in this building, I feel like this might be a luxury apartment building. So the work that they do is so outstanding that we really just appreciate being a partner. And so with all seriousness, we just really want to be here to say thank you, and that we continue to look forward to working with you all in these types of efforts, and with the city overall for revitalization. We know that that public-private partnership is critical, and so thank you to all of our partners who allowed us to participate. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's really a pleasure to work with you and the people at Bank of America. There are many people and organizations that were critical to helping us move forward. Harkins Builders, Mark Callahan, Dan Wickham, Mike Drummond, Carlin Jimenez, and Nicole Boudou from Harkins Builders. Thank you all for building a great building. Marks Thomas Architects, Magda Westerhout, Nancy Liebert, and Avery Brown, who spent many hours with us getting it just right. And it was worth it. Don't you think so? Yeah. Thank you. Marks Thomas, Colbert Matson, Rosenfeld, Bob Rosenfeld, Ken Green, and Lisa Junker. And to our great attorneys, Kirsten Walpert, Ryan Potter, Saul Gilstein, Nita Schultz. Anybody else from Gallagher here? Beth, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Great job keeping us straight. That's important. And to our great property managers at Habitat America, Nanette Patrick, Shamika Lewis, Jeannie Hendricks, and Kathy Murphy, thanks for doing a great job here. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I also wanted to recognize Mark Kaplan and Dominique, because they are the developers of 500 Park Avenue and 520 Park Avenue. And so they, along with many other people, are really helping to make this a fabulous community. And it is those partnerships that are oh so important to help build up this community and make it a great place for people from all walks of life to live. So I really appreciate all the hard work that they've put into what they're doing, and believe me, I appreciate what they're doing. I also want to recognize Lee Rosenberg, who is a long-term member of the board of the Enterprise Homes and a long-term friend as well, and John Baum, who is also a shorter-term board member, but a great friend as well, great advisor. And I just wanted to thank our Enterprise team, Charlie Warehane, who's the president of Enterprise Community Investment, who's been a great supporter of our work, Philip Porter and Raul Moore for their help on the equity financing, to the people at Enterprise Homes, to Ned Howe for taking the lead on this site and putting all those pieces together, Christine Madigan for her leadership and her enthusiasm, Louis Kaing for putting all the final pieces together, Rebecca Warrens for helping make the design and the cost work together. That's a pretty hard job. People want certain things and it costs certain things, and making those even is pretty difficult. And Becca Schultz for helping to get all the new residents leased up and settled in. Also thanks to Linda Galati, Andrea Russell, Vicki Johns, Naima White, and Bill Wright for help putting this event together today. So with all those thank yous, I just really want to just say, enjoy yourself. We've got, we have an apartment open if you're interested in looking at an apartment. We've got a fitness center over here. We've got a computer room, work study place for students, and please enjoy yourself and walk around and look at the building. And also we have refreshments. We have some sandwiches and some refreshments, so please enjoy yourself. And thank you all for coming today and helping us celebrate.